Welcome to Scriptural Focus. I'm Jack Wilkie. Grab your Bible, let's dig in. Welcome back to Scriptural Focus. This time we're going to look at a question that really affects every single Christian. Every Christian has to answer this question at some point, and that is, which Bible version should I choose? Which one's the best one? What do we mean best when we talk about Bible versions? What should somebody look for? If you're watching this, if you're a Focus Plus member, you've probably been a Christian for a while, you've probably made your decision on this, but the question still comes up, especially the deeper you get into study. Which one should I choose? Should I keep a few on hand? The answer to that, I would say, absolutely is yes. Especially with Bible apps, you can have a few lined up in your favorites that you can check one against each other, because it's very useful to see how different ones translated it. But I want to get into why we choose different ones, what usefulness each one has, and what I'll give are my personal rankings of best, what I would encourage somebody to go by. So let's talk about that a little bit. Which Bible versions should somebody use? I think the most popular remains the New International Version 1984. The ESV, I think, is catching it. I don't know that it'll overtake it, but it is certainly rising in popularity, the English Standard Version, ESV. And so there are a lot of good options out there. I'm not a big NIV guy. Typically, when asked this question, when members have come up and said, I'm going to buy a new Bible, what should I go get? I've given a list of 5, but that list is starting to change because new ones are coming on the market. Those 5 are King James, New King James, New American Standard, and English Standard. Those 5 I pick for a specific reason, and that is that the translators strove for accuracy from the original text, from the Greek and the Hebrew. When you're translating a language, there is no one-for-one. You have to capture concepts that there's not exactly one word that translates another word perfectly. And so what those translators did, even though they disagreed at times, and that's why we ended up with different translations from them, they were trying to capture as accurately as they could the things that were written in those other languages, those ancient languages. Something like the New International, the Message, New Living, some of those more popular, more accessible ones, I guess. We're going for some of them are Paraphrase. Some are what's called dynamic equivalents, where they were trying to capture the spirit of it, I guess is what they would say. And so you're not always getting the accuracy that you need specifically for deeper Bible study. If you're going to do any kind of deeper Bible study, specifically exegesis, where you're finding the key words throughout the text, you're linking them back and forth across a book or across multiple books of the Bible, you're going to need something that's consistent, something that you know is translating it consistently. And so those 5 that I listed are, they start with that attempt at being accurate, number 1. But number 2, I would add to that, in recent years, the Christian Standard Bible. It was first called the Holman Christian Standard Bible, so you'll still see some HCSBs out there. But CSB, or Christian Standard. And then a new one that's come out a couple years ago, the Legacy Standard Bible, which essentially is built on the New American Standard. But the New American Standard has a flaw in that they don't translate the Greek words as consistently as I would like. Legacy Standard Bible was created to specifically to specifically address and fix that issue. And so at this point, I would say that is my number 1 on the list. The other thing about it, among those accurate Bibles, is there's 2 major Greek textual bases. There's what's called the Textus Receptus, that the King James and New King James are based on. And then there's the Nestle Aland, there's a few different names for it. The newest Greek text, which is based on some of the older Greek manuscripts that we've found. Those that go back to 300, 400 AD, whereas the Textus Receptus is based on Greek manuscripts from 11 or 1200. And so if you've ever played the game Telephone, the 7th person in line might have a few more details or a few details off through the passing on of information. And that's why so many believe that the earlier texts are more accurate, as they were closer to the writing date, closer to the apostles. And so the ESV, the New American Standard, the Christian Standard, Legacy Standard, each of these are based on that Greek text. King James and New King James are on the other. It's not a huge difference. It's not going to cost you that much. Any of those translations, if you're trying to do serious Bible study, are going to do a good job. Having said all that, I do think there is a little bit of value in the NIV and the Message, just to get the idea. It's almost as a commentary. It's almost going in and seeing, here's how these people took these verses to mean, or some phrasing they put behind it as a way of putting it. And so they can be useful for that. But when you are going to do deeper Bible study and really dig into the text, I would stick with one of those 7 that I gave, of the ones that are trying to be more accurate and faithful to the text and based on good Greek and Hebrew texts.